where we talk about whatever we want to talk about, and then probably things that we didn't even know we were going to talk about. I'm Brian Noonan. He is, of course, the well-coiffed Cody Gough.
'Twas me, indeedy. Guess what we're talking about today? A lot. Here's the official preview so that you know quickly what we are going to talk about, minus all the tangents we're going to take. Brian may have a new career path, or is one calling to him, or does he not have one? Who knows? I don't. We don't do a pre-show meeting. We do, kind of. It doesn't matter. He also went to the state fair. I presume Illinois is. Perhaps not. I don't know. Have I been to any? I don't know if I've been to any. Doesn't matter. We'll find out all that and more. And I just got back from Nerdfest, Geek Central. Those are probably copyrighted, but what I actually went to was Gen Con, the world's largest gaming convention, which Brian has nicknamed many things over the years. I participated in the Dune Imperium North American Championship Tournament, and we'll find out the ups and downs of that in today's edition of Brian Noonan and Cody Gough. Oh, realities may vary. I read the wrong lower third graphic there. I got the name of the show.
Yeah, the show's right there. The big one is the show.
It is.
Or not. Who cares?
Anyway, yeah. So for a quick, 30-second check-in, starting not too late. Just put my kids to bed. It was very funny. But what was very funny was, so my son's birthday is coming up.
Yes.
And we have received an invitation to one of his classmates' birthday party.
At 3?
Not even. Well, he's about to turn 3. But
the classmate, I'm guessing, is turning 3 as well, correct?
I, too, was surprised, but my wife took it upon herself to take that to mean that we must reciprocate and have an opportunity to meet these children.
Oh, no.
Now, my son has never talked about any of his classmates to any degree whatsoever.
This is the school where he's being basically run ragged. Is that correct?
Well, we're trying to teach him Spanish, which he's learning but refuses to speak because he's too strong-willed. He's too much like his mother.
Molly is fluent in Spanish. We visited her in Madrid. She would not speak Spanish to people.
In front of you or generally?
I don't know what she does when I'm not around. But when I needed her to translate stuff, she wouldn't do it.
That's really annoying.
Yep.
Okay. Well,
so what I'm saying is don't get too mad at a 3-year-old who doesn't want to habla.
Okay.
That's all.
Well, anyway, it's this little preschool, and it's like, okay, we need things to do and friends, so we'll go. But tonight, what was hilarious? So we've already got the invitations out, and my wife was like, "Oh, this person's going, and Lee is going to go." Now, my son has never said a word about anything he has done in preschool ever. Like, what'd you do today? I'm a car. Or like, what'd you do today at school, bud? Did you play things? And he'll just be like, I'm just gonna walk over here. Like, he just not even doesn't even acknowledge us.
That's because he resents you sending him there.
I don't know what the problem. So, but just now, hot off the press, Brian, like 30 seconds ago, before we started, we're downstairs, and my wife goes, "Oh, Lee is coming," and I go, "Who's Lee? Is that one of your friends?" And he was like, "I'm gonna make up what he said, but it was something like, yeah, Lee Garrett, something like that." And I was like, "Wait, Lee? What? Lee? What? What did Lee do?" And he goes, "Lee Garrison. He knows his last name."
Okay.
And it was just hilarious to hear my sub 3-year-old son say someone's first and last name, which is
Mr. Garrison.
The mark. Garrison. It's the mark of middle school, right? Or of grade school, right?
Mr. Lee Garrison will be at the party.
I just felt like I relived all of my grade school years because you know all the first and last names.
Mm-hmm.
I still know the first and last names of all of my first and second grade classmates.
Did he give you any other information other than Lee's last name?
Absolutely not.
And he's never said anything about having like playing with Lee or being friends with Lee or Lee punching anybody?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. But that's my check-in. I thought it was very funny.
It is very funny.
When you hear
Your kid cracks me up.
Me too.
He was dressed like a pirate the other day, wasn't he?
Yeah.
While you were out of town, did you know about this? That they were going to dress your kids up in crazy costumes and take them to a Ren fair?
Yeah. So we've been talking about bringing my kids to the Bristol Renaissance Fair for like 3 years.
Okay. Well,
and
like pre-birth?
The weekend, sure. The weekend, at least this summer and last summer, we talked about it a lot.
Okay.
For some reason, and we've been talking about it all summer, my wife is like, oh, you're going to Gen Con. I'm going to go visit my friend up in Milwaukee, and we're all going to go to the Bristol Renaissance Fair. The nerdiest thing we could do as a family while you're away at your nerdiest event, we're going to do this thing. And I'm like, all right.
Oh,
yeah. So
you don't get to go to your two nerd things.
She dressed them up like pirates, and it was very cute. So, yeah, well, but I will say last year, the only reason we didn't go is because the one weekend we had free was Pirate Weekend.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what that is.
It goes from a Renaissance fair to a pirate fair. And
is that what this weekend was? Pirate fair?
It was pirate. They have two themed weekends. One is pirate and one is steampunk.
Okay.
Yeah. So they did pirate weekend. Right. And I,
that's too bad. I would have liked to see your kid your kids dressed as steampunks.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, really, you just put on a top hat and put a gear somewhere.
Yeah, a lot of gears.
Just the gear.
Gearheads.
But she dressed him up cute, and it got really good pictures, which is great. And I didn't have to deal with walking around listening to a bunch of improvisers yell "Yarmy booty" and like stuff all day. She said it was ungodly crowded, like to the point where you couldn't even move.
Really?
She left at like 1. She said it was just unbelievable.
Wow. I am so out of touch. I mean, I pass it on my way to and from Milwaukee all the time. I know people talk about it. I didn't know people actually went to it.
Apparently everyone in Wisconsin goes to it.
Really?
Well, she said there are a lot of teenagers, and you think about it, she's like, well, because all the malls are closed, or at least they're not going. True.
That's true. And they can dress up like pirates.
They can. Yeah. So Linda in the chat said, Brian, there seems to be a delay in your video. I noticed this last week. I thought that you were like a half second behind.
Oh, yeah. I see it now, too. Okay. Well, let me turn it.
Oh, he's turning something on or off. Interesting. This is really weird. I haven't been full screen in a hot minute. I wonder if he even knows he's off. He's probably just doing his own show. Just his camera off. I actually almost did that one. Well, I might have done that with a friend. I visited a friend in Iowa, and he was a Twitch streamer. And we got very, very drunk and started playing this game. And I thought we were streaming, and we were just screaming at each other drunk. And at the end, it was like 2 a.m. and he was like, I don't even know if we were streaming any of this time. So,
all right, well, how's it going now? No, it still seems a little behind.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. Should I log off? Come back in?
Well, what are you on an external device?
No, I'm on the device. I'm on my computer, the same one I'm on all the time.
I don't know.
And
I'm not delayed though.
No, you don't look delayed. Oh, but now, I do see that I am delayed. It's weird.
It's unsettling.
It is. I'm not sure quite how to fix it. Well, hold on. I'll just turn off maybe I just got to reboot the camera. Maybe it has something to do with that.
Yeah.
All right. Let me do that. I'll just, hopefully you can still hear me. Yeah. That looks cool, doesn't it?
Welcome to our newest segment, Live Tech Support from Beyond the Grave. I'm one of your hosts, the one with the fancy setup, whose wife steals his headphones immediately before every show, which delays us at least a minute while I go find them and untangle them, because it's got the phone cord kind of looking cable, the really coily one. So it gets tangled pretty easily. It gets untangled pretty easily, to be fair, but she also doesn't steal my headphones. I usually bring them to her because my wife actually is not a podcast, but she's kind of like doing some test podcast recordings. She's doing them the same night usually that I do this, but sometimes not. So she ends up with the headphones. So anyway, Mike in the chat, UFOs are real. They're messing with the signal. very possible. And hey, Tammy asks, hey, sorry to go off topic, but have all the driver's license situations been corrected? Yes, I went to the DMV Monday and got my license renewed, and it will be arriving in the mail at some point soon, I hope. How are you, Brian?
Nice. Well, I'm trying to see if that was any better. Is it any better?
It's better. It's not fixed, but it's better.
I don't know what to do then.
It's actually, it's like a 0.2 of a second off. I do video editing, so I know these things. Oh,
There, I'll just.
It's good enough. It's no longer like profoundly distracting to
All right.
me.
Well, listen, I can always go back to just either a blank screen or we'll throw up the technical difficulties.
You're a fraction of a second behind. You're good. What's your 30 seconds?
My 30. Well, I thought everything was lovely, and then now I'm finding out that I'm lagging, and I don't know why. Maybe maybe it's just could be the computer. What's going on today? It is everything was good. I spent the day doing some work and then harvesting things and roasting a lot of peppers and making some fresh salsa sauce. So yeah, it's been fine. And fielding emails and requests and all sorts of things. Yeah.
For your new job, your new career?
No, that new career, I don't know. That's I haven't fielded any requests for that yet. Okay, all right. We'll start with that.
Well, wait, did you get your driver's license?
What I don't remember if I had a driver's license problem. I got a new one. It was all solved that day because I just went, forget it. I don't need the real ID. I'll just have my regular driver's license. And I have gotten it in the mail. The picture is hideous. I hate it. It's awful. But a lot of people could say, well, in real life, you're hideous. So it's no big deal.
All right, never mind. We must have. It must have been you told me, then I realized it on air. Doesn't matter.
You were having passport problems. Remember that.
No. Remember, my driver's license expired, and then
yes,
I didn't know it. Anyway, I went. We're good. It's in the mail.
You're legal, so you can drive your new car.
If I ever go back to car shopping, because I just had so much to do last week.
You were out last week.
I'm just busy. But yeah, new job, career path.
Well, all right. So you know how I don't like to spend money. I hang on to things forever. So a little over 6 years ago, Debbie gave me a Fitbit, and I've been wearing it, for 6 years everywhere. Yes, I got a Fitbit Alta, and it was, I've changed bands on it like 4 times, and it's all scratched up because remember the day I was at my mom's and I fell on the mirror and cut myself all up?
Yep.
Yeah, well, so the Fitbit's also all scratched up, and it's been screwing up lately. Hasn't been working. Even I charge it and then I sync it. And then one day I tap it and nothing happens. And it's a whole big thing. So I'm like, I got to have something because I'm still, even though my clock tells me what time it is, I still like to have a watch, some sort of timepiece on my arm. And I was like, oh man, maybe I should just get a new watch. And then I went, hold on a minute. I have a G-Shock that I really liked, but I haven't worn it in 6 years since I got this Fitbit. So let me find it. And I dig through my drawer where my underwear is in this drawer, T-shirts are in this drawer, and every old watch and collar stay, all that kind of stuff is in this drawer. And I found it, but of course, obviously it doesn't work because I haven't 6 years old, and the sun would recharge it if you wore it in the sun. But the battery's been in my drawer for 6 years. So now I'm like, oh, I got to take this somewhere to get a new battery put in it. And I'm like, no, I don't. I can do this. I can take apart this G-Shock and put a new battery in it. How hard can it be? I think I have a little, and thankfully on my desk, I have a little, screwdriver combo thing that you use for glasses if you have to tighten up the arm of your glasses,
Yeah.
So it's it's tiny. It's this, and it's got a Phillips head and a flat head on it.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got it, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, well, I bet these screws will take the back off this watch, and I bet once I get the back off this watch, I can figure it out. So I'm working. I've got, it's on the desk, and I'm getting it, and I take the watch apart, and then there's a rubber gasket because it's waterproof. So you got to take the rubber gasket off. Then the rubber gasket is on top of a plastic gasket, and I take that off, and I'm like, ha ha, there's the battery under this cap. How am I going to get this cap off? I don't know. So I'm fiddling around, and then I like, oh, you know what? This is the call for the internet. I got to get on the internet. That's what's going to help me. So I get on the internet, how to change a G-Shock battery. I watch, get my little thing, bing, I pop the top, the battery comes right out. I'm like, hoo-hoo. I go and get the batteries, and I didn't have any problem finding them because I went to a battery store. They've got, have you ever seen this place called, I think it's Batteries Plus? There's one right near us, and it's basically batteries from car batteries to computer batteries to cell phone, every kind of battery.
Yep.
That's their thing. And they do cell phone repair. So I had to buy a 2-pack because he only had a 2-pack and not Tupac. Shout out, West Coast. I come home. Quickly, I'm able to get the battery back in. So I start reversing the cord. Now the problem is, because of the way the back plate sat under the band, you got to try to slide it in a little. So now I'm having to loosen both sides of the band so I can bend it up so the rubber, so I can slide it under. Suffice it to say, now I don't have it on right now, but the watch works perfectly.
Really?
Then and then I downloaded the manual so I could see how to set it all again and get everything going. Oh, I got a stopwatch. I got a timer. I got time in like 5 cities. I can illuminate it if I'm in the dark. It's beautiful. Beautiful. So, and because I looked at a new watch like that was going to be like $100 and some bucks. I'm like, I'm not spending $100 some bucks. I spent $10 on 2 batteries. Plus I learned a skill. So if you ever have a G-Shock, now I still couldn't change it on a dress watch because they have to, that I don't know what they use to get the back off. But as I was debating going, a couple months ago, I had 2 dress watches that I hadn't worn in a long time, and they needed batteries. So I go to get batteries, and I took it to one of those Dakota watch companies in the mall. That's the only reason to go to the mall, is to go to one of those Dakota watch kiosks so the guys can change your battery. When I went, there was a kid there who couldn't have been less interested in watches or watch batteries or the concept of work. Nothing. This kid was like, oh, because he's standing there. I walk up, and now I'm at Harlem Irving Plaza, which is pretty much empty. Nobody goes to the mall, like you said. Here, but I know I could go there and get Cinnabons, Fannie Mae, and a watch battery. That's the only reason I go to the mall. Those 3 things. And really, you don't have to go to Fannie Mae for the mall. This just is in case we're going on Christmas Eve to pick up Cinnabon and we need a box of mint meltaways to take to somebody's house. Perfect. I walk up, and the kid's just standing there in this little kiosk, bored out of his mind. And I'm like, I'm waiting, and I'm a lot of things. Easy to miss is not one of them. And I'm standing, and finally I go, hi, hey, what's going on? Oh, hi. What do you need? I need to get a watch battery. Oh, well, so he looks at the one, he goes, okay. Then he looks at the other, he goes, well, if I take this out to put the battery in, it's not going to be water resistant anymore. I'm like, well, it's a dress watch. I'm not really going to go swimming in it or shower in it. So that's fine. You can just put the battery in. Okay. I don't know. It'll be like 20 minutes or something. I said, okay. I'll just walk around this nearly empty mall and pretend I'm in The Walking Dead. You want to call me, or you want me to just come back? I guess I'll take your number. Okay. I leave. I'm watching myself. About 20 minutes, I go back, and he's just sitting there. And he's like, yes. I'm like, hi, I dropped off a couple watches. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. They're done. So as I'm sitting here, before I start learning watch repair myself, I'm thinking back, and I'm like, I don't want to go deal with this kid again. at the Dakota Watch Company. Because now, granted, there's a 99% chance he doesn't work there anymore. That's pretty much a given.
Yeah. Nobody wants to work anymore, Brian.
Yeah, you don't think they fire people from the Dakota
who are
Watch
they gonna
Company?
Who are they gonna replace him with? Nobody wants to work.
I was thinking of picking up his shifts because you have access to all those great watch fixing tools. But anyway, so I decided I'd do it myself. I'm like, I'm like the Amish. I just do it myself. I take care of my own issues,
dude.
Yeah. So,
Impressamundo.
Thank you. Yeah. I'll wear it next time I see you. I'll have the watch on. You'll be like,
Please
is that the watch you fixed? I'll go, damn right, it's a watch I fixed.
Well, I'll probably see you next. Oh, I'll see you before my son's birthday party. But
yes, you will.
If
I'll see you next. No, you. Yeah.
Not this Sunday.
Not this Sunday. Sometimes. Not the 13th, the 19th.
Yeah.
20th. Yeah. All right. So that's it for me. You. What were you saying?
I need to go get 2 ibuprofen.
Okay, go get some ibuprofen.
If you have anything to add to this story, please feel free. Otherwise, I'll be back in like 30 seconds. It's right across the hall.
I would love to start a timer and see if you can actually do it in 30 seconds.
I can definitely do it in 30 seconds.
I'm going to hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on. I'm going to start a timer.
Okay.
Because sometimes you're, tell me when you're ready.
All right, ready? Go.
All right. Cody is going. I'll take this moment for a little plug-a-roo. I'm going to be live from the Wisconsin State Fair again on Saturday afternoon from 2 to 5. You can listen on WTMJ. This is kind of the story that I was going to tell with Cody. Friday I did a show.
It was 20 seconds, 21 seconds.
21.37 seconds.
Oh, who's good? But my son got out of his room on the way in, so now I have to go deal with him. Hold on.
I love the way he said it. My son got out of his room like he escaped. Mike, you're going to buy meat and turkey leg at the Ren Fair. You'll never see me at the Ren Fair. No chance. So yeah, if you want to listen on Saturday for a little bonus, and then I'll also next week, Cody doesn't know this yet. Next week, there will be no Realities May Vary because my radio schedule is conflicting because next Monday I'm filling in from 9 to noon, and then I'm doing my show from 6 to 9. And then Tuesday morning, I'm filling in from 9 to noon. And then on Tuesday night, I will be doing my show as well. So we will be off next week. And again, Cody doesn't know this, but as soon as he puts his son away, he will learn of this. So yes, there's a lot of extra stuff coming up at WTMJ. And if you want to see all the full schedule and things, I will make sure it is on the Facebook page. So, Max is checking. Max says Wisconsin State Fair has the best food according to this veteran State Fair attendee. I will say I have to agree with you, Max. Now, I did not get a chance to do a lot at the State Fair because I was working, but I did. I have had the cream puffs up there, which are a Wisconsin State Fair staple, right across from the Dairy Barn, or in the Dairy Barn, which is where we broadcast. We broadcast right across from the Dairy Barn. So Max Armstrong was just jumping in, Cody.
Oh, it's amazing. As I pop pills in front of him. I love how impressive I look to the legendary broadcaster Max Armstrong. God.
Yes, Gene, I will post the TMJ schedule on Facebook. There's a lot of extra shows coming up. So they're double. I got an email today from one of the co-hosts of the your ibuprofen.
It's just
gummies?
Ibuprofen. I don't want Max to think less of me. I don't know what he thought that I was just popping there.
I don't know if he can, quite frankly. I don't know if it's possible for him to think less
I respect him. Darn it.
Of course you do. Yeah. He's got another new book coming out.
Dude, I'm on LinkedIn. The LinkedIn.
I know. So you know Max is not only a one-time author, now he's a second-time author. Congratulations on that. But he said the food at the Wisconsin State Fair is great. And it is. There's a lot of food. I will say, though, I was disappointed in something I had there the other day.
Was it elephant ears?
No, I didn't have an elephant ear. I didn't have a lot of time because I did the show. I was on Friday. It was last minute. I was on Friday. Well, not real last minute. I was on from noon to 3 on Friday. So I don't know. I go 2,000 milligrams of ibuprofen a day. You want to throw down, boys?
I
take 1,000 milligrams in the morning and 1,000 milligrams when I go to bed.
I laughed at Max in the chat. Said, "Listen, Cody, I can match your ibuprofen anytime." Touche.
That's right. Well, Max and I are a little bit older than you, Cody. We have more, and Max also works. Does some farm work and drives tractors and stuff. I can understand him having a muscle ache or two.
Fair.
You sit at home in the air conditioning. You have leg day once a week.
My office is the only room in my house that is poorly air conditioned because we knocked out a vent when we knocked out a wall, and I need a new house anyway.
Well, here's the last of the state fair, because I was telling people I'll be back there again Saturday, broadcasting from 2 to 5, which will be fun. Cody, you would have been happy because the as I call it, the Talkquarium is right on the midway. Right, people are walking by all the time, so it's just like the old Showcase studio. And I decided, since it was Friday, I was going to debut a brand new game that would sweep the nation, stick or no stick. And so we would stop people as they walked by, because they used to have an exterior mic like we did at the old place, but this time they don't anymore. But the engineer was like, well, I can make sure that the wireless works, and I can stand out there if you want. And I was like, yeah, if you don't mind, that would be cool. So we would stop people, and people were calling in on this too. And I had carnival music going underneath it, and it was stick or no stick. And I would, ask the people a couple questions. They were laughing, crowds were gathering, and then I would give them a food, and they had to tell me if at the state fair you could get it stick or no stick.
Oh boy.
It was a very easy, stupid game, but as you can imagine, I played it up like it was Jeopardy. And people had fun. People enjoyed stick or no stick. We did 2 segments, and there were people lining up. They could not wait. One woman was so upset that I actually gave her a prize anyway, because she was fraught with emotion.
No,
having
wait.
not been. Yes.
What was the disappointing food though?
Salad.
Why would you get salad at the Wisconsin State Fair?
That was her point. But all of these foods came from the State Fair website. So everything I had 2 lists. I had stick and I had no stick. So I knew, and they were on the website. So these were legit foods that you could get. She had the same thing, because I said salad and she said no stick. And I said, oh, you are wrong. What? Who's eating a salad at the state fair anyway? Why would you come to the Wisconsin State Fair and eat a salad? I was like, you know what? You're absolutely right. Give her a prize, Johnny.
Wow. Wait, but I was asking, what food did you eat that disappointed you?
Oh, what food did I eat that disappointed me? It wasn't a salad. So I get done, and I had to get home. I wanted to beat traffic, but I also wanted a beer. So I tried a new brewery, and I can't remember what it was, a Wisconsin microbrew. I had one of their Oktoberfests, and I got Debbie loves tater tots. They had one of the local places was all tater tots, all different kinds of tots. And I thought, I'll just get something small before I head home. I got the Philly cheesesteak tater tots.
God, no.
Yeah, no. Awful. Excuse me. It was like tater tots, and it had to be that pump cheese, which was awful. Then some onions and peppers, which are always good. But then I thought, they'll have, it'll be like steakums, they'll do a steak. No, they just took like Italian beef from an Italian beef sandwich and threw it on there. Ugh, no good. No, I'm going to say no tots. No tots. When I'm there Saturday, I got to try, they've got a Wisconsin quesadilla, which I'm going to get. It's got bratwurst and cheese in a quesadilla. That sounds good. I'm going to get Debbie and I are going to split a cream puff, because our cream puffs are legendary.
Uh-huh.
It's everything. You can deep fry it. They get a lot of people are. They brought me this on the air. Every year they do a little contest. The state fair does the Sporkies and the
Jets.
Drinkies. Yeah. So
Sporky
it's the
and the Jets. There was a TV show when I was growing up.
Sporkies and Drinkies?
Sporky and the Jets.
Oh, Benny and the Jets. Ow, 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 ow. I wish Jerry, I wish I could have put Jardinera on the tots. They didn't have Jardinera tots.
No.
So they do these things where everybody competes, and then they announce like the top. There's 3 prize winners for food and 3 prize winners for drinks, and it's a state fair tradition. So on the air, they're one of the places, one of the local, the Worst House is providing food for everybody at the station, and so this young member of the street team walks in, and she goes, "Oh, Brian, do you want some food?" And I'm like, "Yeah, okay, sure. How about I bring you the prize winner, the grand champion of the Sporkies, because it's from the Worst House." And I'm like, "All right, I get the branding, I get all the thing. They're very big. They got all these young people now, and they're all very big on clips and videos and all this kind of stuff." So I'm like, "Okay, that's fine." And I know how the game works. So they brought me the Wisconsin beer cheese lava cakes from the Worst House. And they're basically 2 pretzel bun balls stuffed with hot, steamy beer cheese. Yeah, right on. And so she brings them in, and I'm on the air talking, but you know me, I'm immediately distracted because an attractive young woman is bringing me food. And I'm like, "Oh, hey, they just brought me the from the Worst House, the grand prize winner of the Sporkies, blah, blah, blah." And I'm like, "Oh no, maybe I shouldn't." I'm saying maybe I shouldn't bite it while I'm on the air, because in case the hot cheese squirts out, I don't mind if I get burned, but if it squirts out all over the board, I don't think they're going to look kindly on that back at the home office. And then I'm looking at him, and she's kind of looking a little disappointed because she's taping, filming, videoing me. And I'm holding them up to the cameras, and I'm talking to my producer, and she's like, "Oh, I'm so jealous." All right, I'll take it. And I took a bite. Oh, mama. So delicious.
I bet.
It was great. So, and that was, that was free. So I'll be back. I'm going to try to get, I'm co-hosting on Saturday with the folks who do the 9 to noon show, WTMJ Now, who I sat in for and who I'm sitting in for again Monday and Tuesday. But I'm going to try to convince them to bring back Stick or No Stick.
Oh yeah, gotta.
Very popular game show, Stick or No Stick.
Unbelievable.
It was, and I can always tell people like freak out because they don't, like, people who don't get me, even though they work with me and know me at the station. Like, I said something about the rules, and then I go, "Oh, we're gonna play Stick or No Stick. It's a game where I go out and I decide if I'm gonna hit you with a stick or not with a stick." What? You're really there? No, that's not how the game works at all. I'm gonna hit you with a stick. So yeah, Stick or No Stick, very popular. I knew you would appreciate it because it's the kind of dumb stuff we would have done in the overnight.
It's amazing. I'm very upset. I'm sure my wife is too, that we didn't realize you were there. And then she could have gone there instead of Bristol.
Well, you were out of town.
Well, she wasn't. She was in Wisconsin.
I know she was in Wisconsin. Well, I told everybody last week.
I forget these things. Where was the Wisconsin State Fair?
It's in West Allis. It's just outside of Milwaukee.
Oh,
it's right there. You have to go to Milwaukee. You have to go so far back to Bristol where you could have gone to oh man, your kids would have loved the fair. There's all kinds of crazy cows and goats and sheeps. This is how crazy I am, because I'm doing this noon to 3, and I'm like, I got to get a state fair guest, but the producer is back at the station. They don't have the producers on site. So I get there, drop off my stuff, and we're at one end of the fairgrounds, and the exhibition halls are all at the other end of the fairgrounds. So I hoof it all the way down to the fairgrounds, and I walk into the cattle barn because I figure I'm going to get somebody to come on and talk to me about what it takes to raise prize-winning cattle at the fair. Now, I'm dumb when it comes to agriculture because I know there's dairy cows and then there's beef cows. And I knew these cows were dairy cows, but they all kind of look the same to me.
Mm-hmm.
Different color, but they're all basically cows. So I don't know if going to one farm or another farm is going to make a big difference. I got so lucky because I walk up and I see these giant cows all laying down. They're lazy in the morning. I'm like, man, these cows have the life. And then somebody's going to pull on them and milk them. And I'm like, I would love to lay around and have somebody come and pull on me and milk me. But that doesn't happen. So I walk up, I look, there's a lot of teenagers, and I see an adult woman. And I'm like, I'll talk to the adult. Now, this is me, Cody, learning about marketing. Last week, I made some WTMJ business cards. So when I went to the fair, I would look official. And I whip out one of my fancy business cards. And I said, hi, blah, blah, blah. Would somebody be willing to come on the air with me and talk to me? She goes, yep, I'm going to take you to Page. And I'm like, all right, take me to Page. And then she says, up until last month, I worked for the Wisconsin Dairy Association, and we did a lot of work with WTMJ. So yeah, I'm happy to help you out. And I'm like, oh man. She introduces me to this young woman, Paige, just graduated from high school. She's been in 4-H and FFA. She was the president of FFA. She knows all about this stuff. She's going into ag business in college and then minoring in embryonics.
Nice.
Or she's been working at some embryonics lab. And I'm like, oh, this girl is going to be fantastic. She came on and she renewed my faith in young people because she was smart. She was very well-versed. She was a little nervous, but not too nervous. Once I made her laugh a couple times and she realized, we're just talking. And this guy's not trying to put me on the spot because he's admitting what he doesn't know so that I can explain what I do know. Because that's what I'm good at interviewing. I'll just say it.
You are very good at interviewing.
And she was great.
Did she speak Spanish?
Huh?
Did she speak Spanish?
I did not broach that topic. I don't think the cows do, so I don't think she feels a need to. I did learn that you can lease a cow. And then and that was what I said. I don't mean to sound stupid. You mean like a car? And she laughed and went, yep, exactly like a car. And I'm like, oh, okay. So that was my time at the fair, and now I get to do it again. This time after my show, I think we're going to hang around and see some musical acts. Because there's music everywhere. There's food everywhere. It's the only thing is, and this is my gripe with everywhere we go. It's expensive at the fair.
Is it?
Yes. I got a beer. The beer was $9 or $10.
What?
Yes.
Dude.
Yes.
It was cheaper than that at Gen Con.
Yes. So that's my thing. I cannot wait to hear all about this Gen Con, you call it, because Mart, I don't know. I didn't spend a lot of time running around to see if they had butter sculptors and stuff. I was on a mission and I had to get back to get on the air. So I was this Saturday, there will be more free time because the show I'm doing with 2 other people. And so I don't feel the weight of having to do everything, especially since I'm bringing up Stick No Stick.
I would literally try to campaign for my family to go, but my parents are bringing my son to the Boone County Fair.
Oh, a county fair.
Next week, which has been on the calendar, no joke, since last year.
Oh, I bet. He'll have a blast.
So this is a big week for the fam. He's going to be gone for a couple of days. You're doing the fair with the fam, and it's just a lot going on.
Gina says it was a great game. She could feel the enthusiasm over the airwaves.
Amazing.
I was selling it. I'm not going to lie, because I wasn't going to let it die. I was going to sell it.
I mean, you don't really half commit to anything.
No. So that was fun. All right. So I can't wait. This is the year when Cody goes wild. This is the time of year when Cody abandons his family and delves deep into his board game fan culture.
Now, I sacrificed a chunk of my Gen Con this year and flew in Thursday night All of my friends drove in Wednesday. All my friends take the day off Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I do every year. And this year I was like, you know what? I've got 2 kids. I can't do this again. To my wife would be mean and unnecessary. I already went to Mexico without her this year, and somewhere else. I don't even remember. Oh, and a bachelor party. I think I've gotten my fill. So yeah, they all got on Wednesday. They were all playing games by Wednesday. I flew in, got in like 10 p.m. Thursday night. And
Did you take a private jet?
I did take a private jet.
Nice.
They have them for very important gamers like me, VIGs. So Gen Con, world's largest gaming convention. 70,000 nerds descend upon Indianapolis to play board games and watch anime with each other and go to fantasy writing symposiums and buy cups of dice. You just scoop a cup of dice from a vat of dice. There are at least 30 vendors that do this. There's like 30.
Just sell
dice. Oh, they sell other stuff too, but they all have the cup of dice. It's like the gimmick. I did it once. I did it literally like 20 years ago, and I still have all the dice. So it's whatever.
Wait, I don't understand this dice thing.
They have a vat of dice. Where's my dice bag? I don't think
so. They have a vat of dice, and you just buy dice.
Yeah, but they're different. Because for role-playing games, for like Dungeons and Dragons, you need a 20-sided die, you need a 12-sided die, a 10-sided die, an 8-sided die.
Oh, and you got to bring your own die.
Yeah, you bring your own dice.
Okay.
Oh, it's a whole thing. Oh, they have designer dice.
Oh,
like
all right. Now, see, I didn't know that.
Oh no, they have high-end dice. They have sets of dice that are like thousands of dollars.
Do you have any made from the bones of endangered species?
I don't know if they're endangered anymore.
Do you have the bones of a human man?
No human bone dice, but they probably exist. There's probably a service that lets you turn your bones into dice after you die. Let's be real.
Or some freak in his basement somewhere in rural Kentucky. He's making dice out of human bones.
Or rural Indiana, frankly.
Could be rural Indiana. Just roll it up from Columbus.
Mm-hmm.
Indiana, not Ohio.
Right. I get it. No, dice is a huge thing in role-playing.
I know all your games need dice. I didn't know they would just sell it like vats of dice.
For board games, you use the dice in the box. But for Dungeons and Dragons and role-playing games, you always bring your own dice, and everybody's got their lucky die and then their preferred dice for types of rolls. And you can go down the dice rabbit hole. I'm not that big of a nerd.
Okay.
I'm close. I'm actually that big of a nerd, but not
you don't have any fancy dice of your own?
Not fancy. Actually, one year, Illinois Institute of Technology set up a booth, and they were exhibiting IIT. Yeah, and they had these.
I'm familiar with.
They had these 6-sided dice with 9 LED lights, red LED lights inside. And if you hit the die, if you like banged it against your hand or against a table, it would go and it would cycle through the 6, and then it would land on one and go and it would flash which of the 6, the first 6 numbers it was.
They're like loaded dice.
Yeah, basic. So I have these 2 random number generator electronic dice that I've had forever. It's always a hit.
Wow.
Yeah, they're fancy.
All right.
But anyway, so at Gen Con, you can play literally one of thousands of different games. Some are tournaments. Sometimes it's learn to play. Sometimes you're previewing a game that's not out yet. You're beta testing. They have a whole beta testing area where like unreleased games and indie game developers, like they can all showcase their games and help play test them. All the way to like world championship tournaments. It's nuts. It's nuts. My favorite board game is called Dune Imperium.
Now, didn't you play it? Haven't you talked about different games in the past?
Mm-hmm.
I've never heard of this one.
Yeah.
I've heard you talk about other games.
I'm sure I mentioned it last year because Dune Imperium last year for the first time. So it's by Direwolf Games.
Okay.
Games publisher. And then last year they had a Dune Imperium tournament at Gen Con. I entered I won the qualifier, won the quarterfinal, won the semifinal. I got to the final, and in the championship match, there were 3 players, and I tied for first place
Now I remember. Yes.
for the
Yes.
championship, and the other guy, there are tiebreaker rules depending on who has more of a certain resource, and he had more, so he won the tiebreaker. But we had the same number of points at the end of the game.
Ugh.
So that's
Now I remember that. Now that you tell that story again, I'm like, oh yes, the tie and the whole. Yes, all right.
Yeah.
So you're playing it again. Are they? Was that the one? Didn't last year that wasn't there a creator there, a game creator that you got to talk to too?
Yeah, I met the guy that made it.
That was it. Okay, so this is the same game. Dune
Imperium.
Dune Imperium.
Based on the Dune
Books
series
and movies? Yeah.
by Frank Herbert. Yeah, actually, specifically, the artwork is taken from the films.
Oh, wow.
So they do have the license. And this is what happens with board games a lot of times is one publisher will have the license to a particular franchise, and then they'll lose it later, and then another game publisher will pick it up so that they can make a board game. So there's a Dune board game from like the year 2000 or something by a different publisher, not this game. This is Dune Imperium. But this has happened with tons of different properties. Battlestar Galactica had a game, and then Fantasy Flight Games picked it up, and it made a really good Battlestar Galactica board game. So occasionally you'll see different like variations on a theme, but this is the current license holder.
Okay.
So I just want to set the stage because like so think about it. I get in Thursday night. I've got all day Friday, all day Saturday, and then everybody leaves Sunday. So I've got 2 days of programming. Brian and I'm seeing I've got 7 of my best friends from growing up are there.
Right.
We're all staying together. I've got 7 of my best friends. I could try new games. I could try other games. I could just hang out with them. But I planned my entire 2 days completely around Dune Imperium, around the tournament.
Do you play it outside of Gen Con?
With my friends, I don't.
Oh, okay. So you guys do play that. This is one of the games you guys play.
We'll play it when we get together. There's no digital version right now, although they announced at Gen Con that they are releasing a digital version. So I'll be able to play more and practice basically.
Yeah, practice.
So the tournament, so I was worried I wouldn't qualify.
Oh no.
You have to play at a qualifier.
That would have been horrible.
So Friday, I had tickets to 4 different qualifiers. Just in case.
Would they have allowed you to try 4 times?
I don't think so. And 2 of the times were overlapping, so I couldn't have even physically gone to one of them. I don't know why I did this, Brian. I planned this like 3 months ago, and I'm just like, things sell out quickly. Some of the time slots are sold out. I'm just like, just gimme. So
now, are you paying for these tickets, or is this part of the entrance fee?
No, it's like $2.
Oh, okay.
A lot of games were free this year, though. Then the people running the games get frustrated because people just don't show up because they're free.
Right.
Most games are like $2.
Okay.
Then people will go, and then they've got a head count. So I show up to the qualifier, and the qualifier happens. Oh, Marta asking if I'm going to talk about this story on my video game podcast. Not that's kind of an hiatus.
Hiatus?
My co-host John has been too busy for that, so we're probably not. But
I think Marta was getting ready to tune out now, thinking, well, I could pick this story up later, but you can't. This is exclusive.
Or just trying to get me to tune out and talk about it somewhere else. I'll promise I'll make it broadly appealing. So
you will. All right. So you've got 4 qualifiers potentially. Well, 2 because you can't really do 3 because you can't do 1.
Yeah, I cut to the chase. I won't give.
No. Tell her we want the deets. So, because now we also know that you're not wearing a costume anymore, which is disappointing.
Yeah, kind of disappointing. Yeah,
now,
no costume.
Let me ask one more question. When you're meeting up with your friends, do they all play the same game? Like, or are they trying to qualify for this tournament too, or are they doing other stuff?
So last year, 2 of my other friends qualified. One of them had to leave Gen Con early because his mom's apartment flooded.
Oh, good Lord.
The sprinkler system went off. So that sucked. So
it's a horrible excuse.
It's horrible. So he just left. My other friend who qualified, we had a miscommunication about when the quarterfinals started. So he showed up an hour after the quarterfinals started, and he was not happy with me.
Because how were you on time and your friend was late? You guys all stay together.
I
You're like
either
15 to a room.
I either told it. We actually have 2 rooms these days.
Wow, because you're all
Yeah,
grown-ups?
yeah,
2 rooms.
2 rooms these days.
Still 3 to a bed?
Whenever I mention the tournament, he now just replies in our comment thread with an asterisk because there's a big asterisk if I had won it. I felt so bad about it. I felt really bad. I still feel bad about it. But so 3 of us qualified and neither of them ended up playing, and then I ended up almost winning, which was cool. This year, yeah, I don't know, nobody was interested, I guess. So, and like they're not really competitive play. Like, actually, my co-host of my video game podcast, John, he said people who really take board games very seriously, I don't need in my life.
Wow, all
That's what
right.
he said.
Good for John.
Yeah. So I show up and all right, now this game takes like it's 4 players, up to 4 players. Takes like 2 to 3 hours to play usually.
Oh, wow.
Maybe a little faster, sometimes like an hour and a half if you're going at a good click. So that's not like a 6-hour game, right? It's not like right. There are way longer. Most of the games we play are like 3+. This one like 3 if you're all going pretty slow. So it's actually one of the quicker games, but still very strategy heavy. So I sit down and it's me and some dude next to me sits down and just mumbles the entire time and doesn't make eye contact with anyone. He was looking down the whole time. I couldn't tell you what he looked like. That was weird. The guy kitty corner from me was just a nice generic person. And this woman sits down across from me. This older woman, like probably 10 years older than me. She sits down and she's ready for business.
Really?
Picture Debbie if Debbie was into board games.
I'll picture Debbie like sitting in front of a slot machine. That's the most focused and down to business I see her ever. So yeah, I can see this. All right.
This woman sits down and she's got like a game company shirt on for some game company. She sits down. She goes, okay, all right. Well, and the time slot for this game is noon to 3. Okay. So it's like 11:45, 11:50. We are all sitting down, get there a little early. Maybe it's a couple minutes now at noon. She goes, okay. All right. We got to make sure we're moving quick. My friends and I play this game really fast. I got to present at 1. So, we got to be out of here 45 minutes.
What? Huh? What?
Hold on. Her phone is vibrating and notifying nonstop for the whole game because her boss is trying to contact her because she was supposed to show up to a panel at 1:00 and present with him.
And she thought, I'm going to come in here and whip these rubes' asses in Dune Imperium.
When you come in and you say, I'm going to beat you all in like a third the time that is allotted for the game, you'd think she'd be really good.
Right.
She wasn't that good. She was. So I won the game very handily.
Nice.
I crushed.
Did you stretch it out toward the end just to make her late?
No, I was actually going as fast as I could, and I made a couple bad moves specifically because I was trying to hurry for her. But like, to be fair, it's not even fair. She said she originally had an 11:00 ticket, but something weird happened. Like she showed up late, so they had to move her.
Okay.
And I'm like, lady, just okay. So we rushed through the game. I annihilate them. I did feel bad. She tied for second and then lost the tiebreaker rules. So the top 2 advanced. But it's just like, what are you doing? So this is the first game, right? This is right off the bat. I have immediately qualified. It's Friday. I had to like speed run through a game with weird people. They were really nice though, and it was fine.
With weird people.
It was fine. It was weird. It was weird people, It was fun.
I would expect that you have to kind of expect that there's going to be a certain percentage of that crowd that would fall under your heading of weird people.
Sure.
Can I interject with Gina's comment real quick?
Please.
My teenage son walked past me moments ago and said, you're listening to those nerds again? I got your nerd, kid.
Ugh.
Swinging. All right. So now that you've qualified, you don't have to worry until what, the next day?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So Friday, I just walked around, hung out with my friends, got a little drinky on that
Right
night.
on.
It was good. It was good. It was a great first day. A great
Okay.
first day at Gen Con.
Nice.
Yeah. Then day 2 rolls around. I get up. I'm a little bit late. So I had an awkward amount of time before the first match where you couldn't really do anything. It's kind of,
Okay.
but fine. Get to the first, the top 64, right?
Ooh,
Top
mate.
64. And I play and I get a couple people didn't show. So I got seated at a 3-person game. All right. It was very intense, very nerve-wracking, very close. I was behind almost the whole game. And then I just leapfrogged at the very end and just
Nice.
took it.
Now,
Took
do
it
your
from-
friends come and cheer you on?
They tried to, but the setup didn't really lend itself to a lot of
Okay.
that. So they just kind of did their thing. So we're doing game 2, right? All right. Now let me tell you this is where the story starts. This is what the story is really about. It's about this guy that almost ruined my con. Almost ruined my convention.
Oh.
I want to say at the top, Direwolf Games, their team was great. The tournament was well run. It was well organized. They were really nice. The staff, every time somebody got like eliminated or knocked out, they're always like, congratulations. Like, you guys, you did really well. You qualified. You're doing like, they made everybody feel like a winner.
Okay.
And that's really important in an event where you have 10,000 event options.
Right.
You're choosing and you're taking time off work and you're choosing to do this tournament, right?
Right.
Like, they made everybody feel good. They made me feel good. I
nice.
can't say enough good things. It is legitimately like, I think one of the best board games that exists. So nothing but good things to say about them.
All right.
However, Brian, people suck sometimes.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
I've heard that sometimes people suck. I've heard that that the majority of times people suck.
Well, I wouldn't go that far.
Okay. But sometimes you'll go with sometimes.
I would go with sometimes.
Occasionally.
I'll go occasionally.
All
Sure.
right.
So I sit down, table, 4 dudes. I mean, it's mostly dude convention anyway. Sit down, and the guy across from me is shuffling, doing the fast shuffle, just shuffling a bunch of times.
Wow.
He's like, "Oh, so I guess your last game went well because I advanced, so obviously." I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Yeah, mine did too. I was done in 30 minutes." I'm like, what? So he tells me about this combination of card draws he got that somehow helped him win in 30 minutes, which I don't think is possible, but sure. And then he starts talking about how
was he a plant from this woman from before?
This guy was way worse than the woman from before was like nice. It was just a weird situation. This guy sucked. So this guy's like, so he starts talking about how he plays in tournaments all the time and he brags and he just won an Arc Nova tournament the previous day. And he was going to play in these other 2 tournaments and he won like 3 other tournaments in the board game championships league or something.
He's trying to get in your head.
Dude, I don't know. And he's
like a wrestling promo.
He's like, oh, and the other thing is he had more experience playing this expansion than the other players did. All right. Real quick on board game expansions. So a lot of these advanced board games, they'll come out with an expansion.
Okay.
What that means is like it changes the board or it adds something to it. All right, so like picture this. Picture Monopoly.
Yeah.
You know that game.
Yes. Yeah.
Picture Uncle Pennybags.
Got it.
Picture him naked.
Why?
I just wanted you to.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now stop.
I wasn't impressed with my visual of him naked. I know why he needs the monocle. Anyway, go on.
So pretend an expansion came out and they replaced free parking with bank robber space. And if you land on it, you can steal money from somebody else.
Oh, all right.
Right?
Sure.
So the game is now different. It's still generally the same game, but there's a new element to it, right? It's new and fresh and cool.
Yeah.
And maybe it makes the game better. Lots of games do this. Sometimes it makes the game a lot better to the point where people are like, oh, I only play with the expansion. And other times people will be like, I don't really see how the expansion adds. It's not worth the $50, or whatever. So that's how expansions work. Dune has 2. The way they structure the tournament is the qualifier was just the base game.
Okay.
quarterfinals was with the first expansion, and then the semifinals were with both expansions.
Oh.
The second expansion's new, so 3 of us at this table had only played it like once.
Oh my! All
Yeah.
right.
So there's like new rule sets, new icons, new cards, and we're kind of like, you know what you're doing, but it's a little like you're not used to it, right?
Right.
This other guy, I play with this expansion all the time. I've played it like probably 40 times. All right, cool. And he's like, oh, I got a game at 6. We can finish by 6. We got to finish by 6. Now it's like, we're sort of like a half hour. We're sort of way early. It was like 3:30. Yes,
Okay.
we'll be done by 6. Okay. Like, don't try to rush us for no
Yeah.
reason. This
Yeah,
guy
relax.
was the biggest asshole I've ever met at a convention. We get like 3 turns in, and I'm taking my turn, and I go before him. I'm taking my turn, and I don't like know what I'm going to play. And I was like, I think I'll do this. And he just goes, all right, well, why are you taking that last action? I'm just going to take my turn.
No, you're not.
And I'm like, I didn't really fight it because I was just kind of like, I just had to like draw a card or something. But I was just like, that's not how games work. Like,
it's not how games work. You have to wait for other people to finish their turn.
Right. Mr. I'm the champion of games. I don't know how to take a turn. Like it's like
your son knows how to take turns and he's not even 3.
Dude, he knows a song about taking turns.
Oh.
And he's not even 3. So this guy,
I wish you had sung that to this guy.
This guy, he's doing fine. So I take a turn that is a monster turn.
Ooh.
Like I get like 3 points in a turn. You only need 9 points to win the game.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So this is a big jump, right? And the problem was there were 2 spaces next to each other. I put my little token on one of the spaces and go, oh, I'll take these actions around this space. You take it, you follow what the instructions with the icons do. And I put it on the wrong one. So I put it down, I moved a few pieces, and then I go, oh, shoot, wait a minute. I actually meant to put it on the other one. So I'm just going to put the pieces back. I wasn't done with my turn. And then I put it on the other one. And then I go, all right, I'm going to do this. This guy loses his mind. He is like, no, you can't do that. I'm like, why? Is this like touch chess where like you touch the piece and you let go and then like it's over? And he's like, judge, come over. So a judge comes over.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh,
and again,
nerds.
Nothing but compliments to Direwolf's staff. They did a great job. And I'm not just saying that because he ruled in my favor. He said, look, judge. He said, look, the guy didn't finish taking his turn. He can undo a thing if no new information has been presented. Like if I had drawn a card and looked at it,
yeah,
that's irreversible, right?
Sure, yeah, right.
But so after this happens and the judge rules, he's like, but I will say though, please don't assume this will be what I say every time. I'm like, yeah, man, I'll be really careful. Like we're all a little brain dead now. We've been playing Dune for like 5 hours now. Like, it's challenging. It's at a convention. None of us have probably slept. We all probably share a room with 9 dudes.
Blah, blah, blah.
None of us wore deodorant. I definitely haven't showered in days, like, come on, give us a little break. So the judge walks away and the guy goes, fine. But you know what? You've been playing I think everyone at this table can agree you've been playing a really sloppy game and it's really impacting the game. So maybe you should shape up.
Whoa. Is this a game that you can play with swords and you're going to shish kebab this guy? Where do you get the nerd balls to say that?
Can you imagine ever saying that to someone?
I'm trying to think if I would even say it if I knew everybody at the table.
Right?
No. Good Lord. Now, I know how I would have reacted. How did you react?
I was heated.
Okay. How did the other people, before you said anything, how did the other people that he just lumped in, like that they were all agreed with him, like they had a conversation while your head was turned, and then this guy's really playing sloppy. And
Yeah.
how did those people were they like, hey dude, don't suck us into your nightmare?
They did not want to be sucked into the nightmare. They did not appear to agree with his assessment.
Okay.
They appeared to want to continue to play the fun game that we came to play on our free time. That everyone was enjoying, except apparently this guy that had to be somewhere at 6. So he says that, and I was like, I took a moment because I was going to go Brian on him.
Nice, good.
I had some Taco Bell, I had some Mountain Dew from Taco Bell under my chair. I could have dumped that everywhere. It could have been bad.
I like that.
I took a beat, and I was just like, to be fair, you keep talking about how you need to get out of here. So I'm actually trying to go really quickly so that you can get out of here. So, I mean, I can just stop doing that. And then like later he made some comment. He's like, he was like, well, he was looking at the clock. He's like, oh, how much we got an hour? Oh, we'll probably finish at this rate. I mean, we can't go any slower than we're already going. Like this guy was just a douche, right?
Please tell me you beat his ass.
So we continued playing. So the next turn, I very deliberately go, okay, I'm playing this card. Showed it to everyone. I'm playing this card. I'm going here, which means that I take this, I put this over here, and I'm going to bump my guy up on this track right here. It's your turn. He looks at his cards. He says something, and then he looks at the piece I had just bumped up, the very last thing I did, and said out loud. Yeah. And he goes, hang on, I'm sorry. How did you go up on that track? So I didn't say anything. I let another player go. He just played that and bumped it. He goes, oh, okay. All right, fine. And then just like takes his turn, but completely had ignored everything I had just said. So like, clearly I'm not the sloppy one here. So anyway, about a turn and a half later, he ends up winning, and he goes,
no.
He goes, hey man, I'm sorry I blew up on you like that. I would have won on that turn, so I had to take an extra turn to win. And it was just like, all right, dude. The story's not over though.
Oh, good.
There's a happy ending.
Oh, good.
So that like it kind of ruined my day, right? Like it just like
sours it a bit.
I don't mind losing that much. I wasn't mad at the guy I lost to in the tournament last year. The guy, like, I think it was like his anniversary with his wife, and he had like proposed with a Dune wedding ring or something. Like it was like a cool story, right? You're like, all right, that's fine. Like, good for you, right? You're a good sport. This guy, I'm just like, and now I'm sitting here thinking, all right, the final's tomorrow. So the final was Sunday at 11 a.m. Okay. I'm like, please God, don't let this guy show up and just win like that. I just hate that. So it turns out the guy goes up to the judge and goes, yeah, I'm not sure if I can be here at 11 tomorrow. I got another tournament. So, you guys might have to start late if I come. And it's just like, no, that's not how this works. He's like, if you can be here by 11, you can play. And then he gets the second place player. I got third. He goes, the second place player sitting next to me. He goes, hey, if you want to show up tomorrow at 11, no guarantees, but I want the final to be a 4-player game. And if like this guy doesn't show, then we need a 4th player. So, you can play, and it takes the guy's info. Great. So this dude, the second place guy, he and I go outside in the hallway, and we talk for like 15 minutes, just like about the game and like how that guy was off the rails and like how excited this guy was because he like doesn't play in tournaments and he just like really likes the game and he thought it'd be fun and like,
oh, cool.
He was really cool. He was really nice and he was super chill. And we like had a great conversation and it felt way better. And again, the Dire Wolf guys on my way out, they're like, here's a commemorative pin that you get for, being in the tournament. Like, you guys did great. Like, congratulations for making it this far. Like they did everything they could to make everybody feel great. It was awesome. This guy talks to me for a little bit and then we kind of go our ways. So I checked Dire Wolf's Twitter on Sunday, and it shows the 4 people that went into the final, and douche ass who ruined my game didn't show up for the final. So after all that whole After
all his rigmarole.
after all the judge, oh, he's a sloppy player. I win all the tournaments. He doesn't even show up to the final
because he had another game.
or
He's trying to win all the
or
tournaments.
he showed up and said something asinine and got kicked out, which is probably more likely.
Yeah.
But anyway, so he sucks and he didn't win. And the dude that like was a really nice guy and was very excited to be there got to play in the final. He didn't win, somebody else did, but it kind of had a happy ending.
All right.
So that was my Dune legacy.
Wow.
I am looking forward to them releasing a digital copy of the game
practice.
so I can practice my butt off. And I'm gonna like I am planning every Gen Con around the Dune Imperium tournament until I win it.
Okay.
I am going to win the North American
I want
Championship.
next year when it's digital and you can practice, I would like you to piece together a training montage like they do in the Rocky movies. I would like there to be inspirational music that swells to the end, and I would like it to take it right up to you walk through the door to compete in the tournament. And then that's the big note, and then we go back to real life.
Okay. I'm down.
I would like to see your training montage.
I'm down.
Like your son yelling at you over your shoulder, your daughter trying to distract you when you're making a move, somebody screaming, "You're sloppy, you're sloppy.
You're sloppy." My friend texted
Your
me
play
that
is sloppy.
My friend texted me that as a joke earlier today and then said, I actually got really angry even just repeating that. Because it was John from Game Life Balance US. He's the one that said, the last thing I need in my life is people that take board games way too seriously. So
you're sloppy.
Yeah. It's like, and my wife made the point. It's like, people don't get a lot of time off.
Right.
In the US. It's their free time.
No, and then they don't take what they do get.
Yeah. And it's your free time. And then, when you go to an event, it should be and is. Gen Con is truly a very there's a lot of camaraderie, right?
Okay.
We're all nerds. We have this in common, but we can hang out together and share in a thing we enjoy together, right?
Right.
Same with Dune. Even Dune is like, we all would sit down. We'd be like, God, I love this game. Oh man, it's so cool. Oh yeah, I had this game and this had even the competitive tournament should be a community event, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for someone to just come steamroll negativity into it takes like a special kind of
that's the kind of guy who has nothing else, and this is going to fill. He thinks this is going to fill the emptiness that is his soul and his life. And when he goes home and looks at the little plaque that says he won, he'll think that's going to get him a fortune and girls and a promotion at work. And it gets him nothing except scorn from the people who had to play against him because he took what should have been a fun win where people would have gone, "Oh man, great game. That was, I'm glad we got to play against each other, blah, blah, blah," and turned it into, that guy is such a piece of garbage. And now you go home and you're sad and you're empty and your little victory means nothing.
Wow. That's brutal. Oh my.
No. And then you want to take a fistful of those game pieces and choke on them and end it.
Jesus.
Yeah. How's that for your Imperium?
Got very dark.
Very dark. I don't like a guy ruining my man's nerd fest.
It was literally
this is your thing.
As soon as I saw that tweet that guy didn't even play in the final, but you know what? It was less that I disliked the guy, but it was more I was genuinely happy for the other dude.
Yeah.
And that's what the tournament was about. It was about I made a connection with some guy. I don't remember his name. I think it was Peter actually. I made a connection with some guy that was really nice and loves a game that I love and wanted to have a good time. And hadn't played in tournaments and got really excited, just like me last year. That was cool. I like that. That made me happy, And the guy not going is like a side effect, but that's what made my day,
Well, I'm glad you had fun. Do you know where did you learn from your defeats? Have you been watching game films now on the plane back? Were you breaking down the game into segments? Do you know what happened?
Not really. I mean, again, with the new expansion, there's all these new variables and it's for my brain to do all that math, on the fly.
Oh, see,
Not-
right there, you lost me. This a math game?
No, but like you're calculating the strategy of like what will get me a point or something. That kind of math, like 3 + 2, how many coins do I have kind of math. Like
Okay.
a couple things, but yeah.
Where did you learn about these games? Like maybe I just never saw those. Like I didn't play Dungeons and Dragons, but I also like when we played board games, it was regular board games that you'd get at, Milton Bradley board games, Monopoly, Sorry, Game of Life, Scrabble, Backgammon, those kind of games.
My friends, I have a couple friends that are really into them, and they just started playing them with me. And for years, I felt really inferior, like I would never win. I wasn't good. And then I got pretty good at a handful, and now I will win like occasionally. And Dune, there was like a 2 or 3 year period where I just rolled everybody every time we played. Like it's my game. I am good at that game. For whatever reason, and I don't know. Like
until you go on the road. That's the problem. You're a home team. You gotta get good on the road. You gotta get those road wins, Cody.
But you gotta understand, when I say that, like, I don't say that about games. I never say that about games. Like the 2 games I'm good at are Dune and Smash Brothers. But like, I don't normally say like, oh yeah, I'm really good at that game. Like I actually am good at Dune. And so it's like, it's cool for me to actually like get to compete with it. It's really fun.
No, it sounds. I mean, listen, I can tell how much fun you have every year. I know how much you look forward to it. Any new? I know there's some food fiascos with the lines. Everything go well? Have they figured that out with the local restaurants?
Man, like half the places in the food court in the mall are closed.
Really?
Yeah. Taco Bell will never die, though.
Okay, well that's good.
I mean,
no, they could probably what they make this weekend keeps them going for the year.
Did I tell you there's a Dick's Last Resort there?
Oh, no.
Dude, we like 7 years ago, we ate at the Dick's Last Resort because it was the only place downtown without a line. There's a reason there was no line.
It's
horrible.
My
God, it's awful.
I went once. First of all, I think you know my feelings of sassy wait staff.
Mm-hmm.
Don't like them. I didn't come in here to be abused. I know when you walk in the door, that's the deal. So you got to accept it. But I went because other people wanted to go. I didn't choose it. So I hate those kind of places. And the food is not, they have to insult you. So you're so upset that you don't notice that the food is garbage.
The food was like a TV dinner gone bad.
Just awful. Oh.
It's actually the worst restaurant food I think I've ever had.
I was going to say I can't believe they're still there, but then I go, oh, it's Indianapolis. I wonder, but Indianapolis, but then, no, I don't mean to throw shade at Indianapolis because I like their downtown very much.
Yeah.
I think their downtown is very cool. And I've had good times, a lot of good times in Indianapolis. I don't know why they're still supporting Dick's Last Resort unless they get a lot of conventioneers.
Dude, and next door was a Noodles and Company that closed.
That's foreign food.
Dude, it was like the only vegan option in downtown Indianapolis for my vegan friend.
Well, I'll tell your vegan friend to bring a sack lunch. Went to Margaritaville in Cleveland. Not the best plan. That from Mike. Yeah, we went. Oh, I'll tell you this. We went on a Pizza City USA tour on Saturday.
What?
Yes, for Debbie's birthday. We try to get experiential gifts now. You remember, the Hungry Hound, Steve Dolinsky?
No.
He was on Channel 7 forever. Now he's the food guy. He's on Channel 5. He's been around forever doing food reviews. He wrote a book called Pizza City USA because he was tired of hearing that, Chicago only had deep dish pizza, blah, blah, blah. So he reviewed like 100 and some pizza places and wrote this book. And now he has a company that does these tours, Pizza City USA. So I was trying to figure it out. I ended up getting that for Debbie's birthday. And we took the bus tour. So you meet it. There's 4 pizza places on the tour. And you meet at the first one. And you have a piece of pizza like a full piece of pizza. So we met at La Briola on Michigan Avenue for deep dish. And then I'm reaching in here because you get this beautiful laminate. And it has all the different pizza joints that they go on all their tours. So they they have deep dish, tavern style, artisan, Neapolitan, Roman, New York City slice, Sicilian, Detroit, and stuffed pizzas. And you get 4, and you don't know what 4 you're getting when you sign up, except you know the one you're starting at. So La Briola was deep dish, and we get there, and the woman who's our docent is very, very nice. And we were in, like, she's like, "Oh, are you guys from out of town?" No. And then there was a family from Frankfurt, a family of 4, so they were in town. Then there was a guy showed up at the last minute, a flight attendant. He's from Chicago, very over the top, this guy, and knew everything about pizza and everything about the city and everything about everything. And then there was a young couple from California who had come in for Lollapalooza the night before, and that day they were doing some tours. So we have this deep dish, we have a piece, and then we get on the bus and we drive to Logan Square, and we went to Paulie G's for Detroit style. And they had a pizza that had won some big World Pizza Cup contest. And it was a Detroit style pizza. And I don't know, have you ever had Detroit style pizza?
I think so.
Like Jet's Pizza is Detroit style.
Yeah.
It's the crust was phenomenal. And then around the edge, they had a cheddar wall of crispness that was right at the edge, and it was topped with, I can't remember all what it was. It was phenomenal. It was like pepperoni and ricotta and something else. It was just phenomenal. So you have there, and some of the 3 of the 4 places the bar was open. So if you wanted to get a beer or something, you could buy a beer. Then we get on the bus only because it was raining, because the next place was only like 2 blocks away. Pizza Lobo. Really cool outdoor kind of place. It serves New York slices. Ooh. And we had their Manhattan slice, which there was a 2-way battle for first place between Paulie G's with the Detroit style and this one. This had on vodka. It was a New York style, so it was the thin crust. It had vodka sauce, pesto, ricotta cheese, and then these roasted tomatoes.
So you don't pick your toppings?
No. You tell them, like, when you sign up, it's like, do you have any dietary restrictions? Do you eat meat?
Right.
So if you did, like, they would have if somebody didn't eat meat, they would have had some option at every place that didn't have meat. Like this one at Lobo didn't have meat.
Okay.
It just had deliciousness. It was so good.
Could you just ask for pepperoni at everyone? Because
you took what they get. You have to free your mind. See that you sound like the little kid. He's maybe 12 of the family. He didn't eat at all. He just pouted because it was all these different pizzas. Until we get to the last place, and the reason I remembered it is because it's in the old Dick's Last Resort.
Oh God!
It's called Robert's Pizza, and it's artisan pizza, they call it, and it was crisp, real thin and crisp, and then a nice doughy edge. And there was a 3 cheese pizza that the kid finally liked, the cheese pizza. That one had, so we had the cheese, and then there was another one that had fennel sausage and fennel and some other stuff. And Debbie was like, I don't like fennel, I'm not going to try that one. I was like, well, you're missing out. I am but it was great. So I've lived in this city pretty much my entire life, and I'm looking at this list of pizza places that are on there, and other than Lou Malnati's, I had not been to any of them. There are pizza places all over with all these different styles, and dude, I was so happy that Pizza Lobo, there's one not too far from where Molly's moving. And I was like, we'll bring her and the boy to this pizza joint sometime, because it was really, really good. And that Detroit style one was phenomenal.
Dude, it wasn't a total nightmare downtown with Lala?
No, because I had gotten a Hero spot. So I literally was right across the street from La Briola for $16 for the day. So that was nothing. We get on the bus. The traffic was a little, but people, she was talking, we were talking. So from La Briola to the first one took maybe 20, 25 minutes. Then the third one was right, like I said, right around the corner. So that was no time. And then it took like 35 minutes to get back to Roberts. And then the bus, 3-5 minutes to get back to La Briola to drop us off.
Not bad.
And it was like one of those nice limo buses. So nice seats. It was a nice bus.
Nice.
Yeah. Tried a beer. I can't remember. I should have written down the beer I had. Tried a beer at Lobo from a local brewery. A Pilsner. It was very nice.
Dude.
Yeah. So yeah, that was, if you're ever looking for something to do and something fun and interesting, they have walking tours of different ones. They have this bus tour. They have all different ones. It's just a lot of fun.
My wife is still trying to get me to go on the architecture tour, which I've never done.
Dude.
Which is insane. Everyone's done it.
I didn't do it until 5 years ago. It was great. It was phenomenal.
God.
Phenomenal.
It's on the list.
Phenomenal. We'll wait a couple of years and then the children will love it. They'll like to take a boat ride.
The chillins.
The children's, the little ones. The little babies. The babies. The boy and the girl.
The babies.
Get the babies on the boat.
The babies.
Babies. You got anything else?
No.
All right. Me either. Wow, that was fun. I will again plug a lot of TMJ stuff coming up. So make sure you're checking the Facebook page. Besides the nighttime shows, there's some daytime shows. There's the Saturday show from the fair. Oh my goodness. I'm trying not to read anything into this. Again, it's we've seen this game play out before, Cody.
Uh-huh.
So it's just, hey, that's nice. Okay. Can you do it? Sure, I can do it. Does that mean anything? No. It means I'll go in and do good. That's it. Play stick or no stick, come up with another. So one of my ideas was beverage break, because we're going to be able to wander the fair on Saturday. Since there's two of us, like one can go out and do stuff. I said, why don't we do beverage breaks? So they have to, every one of us leaves and checks in from where they're having where they're having the beverage. And one of the hosts was not having it. I'm not getting fired for something that stupid. We can't drink on the air. We can't do it. I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh, you can't drink on the air?
Well, who says?
What if you got like a weird milkshake or something?
Well, there's a lot of different beverages. There's, you could go with the easy shake up lemonade. I could walk across to the dairy barn, get a giant ice cold glass of milk. Somebody could get, a milkshake. There's all kinds of non-alcoholic. There's a whole thing. One of the sippies there's a whole category of non-alcoholic cocktails.
There you go.
There's a lot of things you can do without drinking. But so then I thought, all right, where at the fair is Brian or the other two hosts' names? Where at the fair? And if you find me, I give you a prize.
This is amazing. This is amazing radio.
I think so too, especially a Saturday afternoon live at the fair. What are we gonna? What about Trump today? That was crazy, huh? He got indicted. No, we're at the fair. You just gotta.
Can you broadcast live from Gen Con next time?
I would broadcast live from anywhere. I actually came up with an idea on the air the other day, and if they don't do it, they're dumb. Because the host Steve Scafidi was asking me about my background and stuff. So he was talking about comedy and this and that, and he goes, "Oh, we should do a show." I go, "Yeah, we should do a TMJ talent show." He goes, "Well, you can headline." I go, "No, I'll MC it. And then I could bring everybody out and they could do a little talent." He goes, I said, "What would you do?" He goes, "Well, I would try stand-up." I go, "Okay." And I said to Sandy Max, the other host, I go, "What would you do?" She goes, "I would tap dance." I go, "Okay." And then and she goes, "Oh, and then Vince Vitrano, the morning guy, he could do his impressions." So we got to do the TMJ talent show. We'll see. I've got a lot of ideas, Cody. I think now the boss was there Friday, and he liked stick or no stick.
Good.
It's just, I'm not breaking any new ground. I'm just having fun, and I'm like forcing everybody to have fun with me.
Yeah, dude, I'm all about it.
Because he even went, I don't want regular shows at the fair. I want like nighttime, noon at night at the fair. I'm like, okay. Then here we go. Where at the fair is Brian?
God.
All right, that's enough. I will. Don't worry. I will post. I will post all those hours on the Facebook page.
Are we off next week?
Oh yeah, you were taking care of your son. Yes, we're off next week because radio has. I'm not getting off the air Monday night and Tuesday night till 9, and unless there's an emergency, because I'm also doing mornings those days too.
All right. Thank you, Marta, for letting me know. Oh, that's pretty great.
Why did Marta say we're not there?
No, she said for you to remind you to tell me that we're off now.
Okay. Oh yeah. I'll tell Cody. I would have told him. Yeah, there's no.
That's good. The good show. Good show.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's it. I got nothing else. Tell them what they got to do.
Please tell a friend about the show. If you're listening to this, well, apparently you can rate us on Facebook. So do a thumbs up if you're on YouTube.
Please do
a like or a 5-star or I don't know what on Facebook. Do that thing. If you're on your phone, pull it out real quick. Apple Podcasts. Just tap on the name of the show and then hit rate, review, hit 5 stars, submit. You're good to go. You don't have to write anything. If you want to, go for it. We'll read it. Spotify, same deal. And actually, hey, on Spotify, did you know you can actually leave a comment on Spotify now?
Really?
Spotify now has a thing built in that's basically like, what'd you think of this episode? It's a generic question. You don't have to tell us that. You can tell us anything. Ask a question. Make
no, I've seen that as I've been posting. Yes.
Random comments. So anyway, on Spotify, that's a capability now. You can probably review our show there too, although like that's doesn't work on everybody's device for some reason. But if you can, wherever you are, if you have the ability to give us some kind of digital love, do it. And tell one friend about the show. Be like, hey, this is a really funny show that we listen to that does not always have a nerd ramble about a video game or a board game tournament for 30 minutes.
Well, that's all right. Gina can't have her son go, look, my mom listens to these two nerds on Monday. Tell your parents, if your parents like nerds, they'll love this show.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I don't know if we qualify as that, but all right. Well, who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was all.
All right.
And then I'm supposed to say bye.